Professor Moni, and my friends from Ahmedabad. It's my delight to welcome Professor Moni, who has taken the trouble all the way to come and share his immense knowledge on the topic that he will be, of course, giving us an exposition to. Professor Moni is former Director General of NIC, National Informatics Center. He spent almost 4 decades in NIC and took charge in the year 1995 of building the vertical relating to agriculture. Digitalization of agriculture was started by him in the year 1995. So all the initiatives that we are seeing in the field of agriculture are due to his vision and his action. He retired from there in the 2013 as the Director General, but during his long career over there, he initiated e-governance. The program that you see on e-governance in the country is largely due to the efforts put in by him. He's an extremely energetic, passionate and nationalistic person. So soon after he retired, that is in the 2013, Professor Moni became Professor Emeritus in Shobit University to follow and to pursue his passion to bring India to a different level in the field of agricultural and rural development. In Shobit University, he has created 5 centers of excellence relating to agriculture informatics, e-governance, and many, many others. Professor Moni did not sit quiet even at the time of COVID, because he had been a part and parcel of Ashok Dalwai committee, which was constituted by the Honorable Prime Minister in the year 2016 to look at the ways we can double the farmer income. This particular report has been published in 14 volumes, and Professor Moni has had the distinction of contributing to the digital part, technology part and science part in terms of the steps that the country has to take. 2018, 2019, we are very well aware, were followed by the COVID times. So during COVID days, he took a resolve, he took a kind of a promise to himself that he would distribute the knowledge, he would distribute the ideas that are contained in the report. And in the last 2.5 years or so, he has organized 210 webinars, inviting experts from all over the country to take his ideas forward to the people. Out of those 210, 105 have been done in association with AFRO, which is the Asia Africa Development Research Organization. So he has been never sitting quiet, very, very, I would say, committed to the cause that he's talking about. And this was reflected from my one day that I spent with him. From morning 10 o'clock on to now, we have been on the road. In the morning we went to iHub to talk to the startups, and these startups were amazed with the width and the depth of his knowledge. He could give his vision, he could give ideas to people who are into health tech, people who are into agri-tech, people who are into the other kinds of ICT, and everywhere people went back very, very happy. After that, we had meetings at IIM Ahmedabad, wherein again we have got CIIE, many of you may be aware, and then we had a meeting with the Center for Management Agriculture, and everywhere his ideas have been found to be of a great value. It's indeed a matter of honor and matter of privilege for AMA to host his talk today, and it's my personal happiness that he has agreed to come and share, I would say, vast knowledge on the subjects that he's going to talk about. He has a very long list of, you would say, awards and recognitions, one of which is that he was considered as the E person of India in the year 2011 by the international agencies. So I am indeed very thankful to him for taking time off and obviously sharing his knowledge, which, as I said in the earlier maybe time, is completely in a missionary mode. He is like a person with fire, person with ignited wisdom to come and talk to us, and I'm sure we will all be much probably more knowledgeable about this particular field, which is, as a matter of fact, not something which is commonly of interest to people in Ahmedabad who are committed to industry or the commerce, because agriculture is something that does not excite. Before I request Professor Moni to come and share his knowledge, his wisdom, I would like to present him on behalf of AMA with a small flower and a book. Professor Moni. So now over to Professor Moni. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tankaji. And
I'll take a seat at the front.
okay. And it gives me great pleasure to be with all of you, to talk to you on a very important topic, relevant topic. I thank the AMA President, Vice President, Honorary Treasurer, Honorary Secretary, Tankaji, and office bearers of Jahangir, Comm, AMA Center for Agriculture and Farm Management, and distinguished friends, participants. The topic is Digitalization of Agricultural System, Ashok Dalwai Committee Report 2018 and its visionary recommendations. Purposefully, I should have put it as a title, Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 Report. And the period is going to be by March 2023. And I thought it is better to be put it as the chairman's name. I have been closely associated with the sectors of lot of sectors. I am not an agriculture scientist. I am a mathematics student, MSc Mathematics, 476 from University of Madras, M.Tech Computer Science from IIT Chennai, 76-78, and then I joined the government. And it was I joined National Informatics Center, and it was a very adventurous journey. As a person who was born and brought up in rural area, I thought that technology development and also technology transfer to rural area, it is a godsend opportunity to me. That's how I viewed it. The first opportunity came to me is during the period of Mr. Rajiv Gandhi. In 1987, when he decided to extend networks to the 512 districts at that time, I was designated as a project director for District Information System of National Informatics Center. And I thought that is, rather than looking for the district collector's office computerization, let us try to bring in a technology for district information system development. And 28 sectoral database development has been visualized. And it was presented based on my discussions with, as a model state, Kerala state. And I conducted a lot of programs, workshops in 14 districts and state level departments, and presented in 5 district collectors conference, which was held at that time, Bhopal, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Imphal, and Coimbatore. And that's how the whole e-governance program came into the country. And technology was not available. It was a tea-based product. But we thought that information system as a building block, we should be very strong. And as an IITian, as a mathematics student, I should be able to give a strong foundation for information system. And when the technology comes, you should be able to utilize it. And we made, informatics revolution at the grassroots level. And 95, I was given an opportunity to look agriculture sector as a vertical. And at that time, the document which was available to me was Rio 8 Summit 92 recommendations. And Agenda 21, Chapter 14 talked about information system for sustainable agriculture rural development. I thought that I should utilize this and try to see that how India should get good benefit out of it. I had a national conference at Vigyan Bhavan, and that time 450 people joined, and we conducted about 16 sessions, come out with an IT blueprint for agriculture. The conference was National Conference on Informatics Development for Sustainable Agriculture, is done 95, and then Honorable Minister Dr. Balram Jakar was the Agriculture Minister. In the valedictory meeting, I requested him that India is an agrarian economy. Kindly allocate 3 to 6% of the agriculture budget for IT in agriculture. And every educational institution, be in NIT, IIT, Central University, university engineering colleges, India is an agrarian economy. They have to do research and try to bring it out something in the agriculture sector. He said that why not? And then, there was a committee set up under Mr. N. Vittal, then, he was a former Secretary Telecom, and he recommended 2 to 3%. That's how the whole government department had an IT budget for, for general computerization. Afterwards, there is no going back. And IT blueprint into 1995 and national e-governance policy came in 2005. Meanwhile, with the network, the connectivity available through BSNL, we were trying to operate many of the programs. AgmarkNet, we were able to network 15 in, the 3,500 wholesale mandis out of 7,000 by 2008. And AgrisNet I proposed in 2000, 10,000 terminals, and state Gujarat is the first state to, under the leadership of the then Chief Minister Honorable Shri Narendra Modi ji, that were able to operationalize in 12,000 villages, with the VSAT-based network in the state. And we was able to bring out lot of technology, and then I was able to see that it is a rural distress. And boys and girls and the sons and daughters of the farmers don't want to do agriculture. Being in India is an agrarian economy, and if this cannot give appropriate jobs, then where the boys and girls will go? And I thought that all the projects which I have done with the taxpayers' money. So why can't I convert as an academic discipline? And 4 years computer science and 4 years agriculture science. Why don't you compress as a 4 years agricultural informatics discipline? As a computer science, agriculture is a real use case for computer science, which unfortunately computer science department did not even take agriculture as a use case. So this is an opportunity, and then I thought that let me have as an agricultural informatics, agricultural economics, and agricultural statistics, but why can't we have an agricultural informatics as a discipline? So I converted to train the engineering students, non-engineering students, and BSc agriculture students to get into agriculture through IT. MTech in agricultural informatics was visualized and made it. That's how my second journey. I retired in 2013 as the Director General NIC. And the Soviet Institute of Engineering Technology is located in Meerut, western part of Uttar Pradesh. There was the first university, private university, or even the university in the world to have a center for agricultural informatics and e-governance as research studies. And then it set it up. And I joined as a professor emeritus. I joined, retired as May 31st, 2013, and June 1st I joined there. And I thought that if rural India has to shine and smile and roar, there are 3 sectors. One is that agriculture sector. and the second one is that SMEs, and third is health. If these three sectors are totally digitalized with a value chain, rural India can shine and smile and roar. That's why I thought that Center for Agricultural Informatics, E-Governance Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies. India is home for 400 agriculture commodities. There is no integrated global value chain. And then, Center for Informatics for Development Solutions and Applications to strengthen e-governance with the standards approach. And then Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, 63 million SMEs are in the country, run by five-member SMEs and up to 1,000. And Industry 4.0 is yet to tap the door of these SMEs. European Union is training the SMEs on as an AI-enabled leaders. And why can't we do this one? And then health is a very important sector. And human health, that itself is of 5 categories, allopathy, Ayurvedic, homeopathy, Unani, Siddha, and naturopathy, and so on and so forth. And plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, and environmental health, everything is silo. And if this data is seen on a village over a GIS technology, and we don't have to do lockdown hereafter any COVID situation, pandemic situations. And this I realize I have been voicing since 2011, and COVID situation has taught a big lesson. And this itself is a $1 trillion data economy. And I visualize that this data, if it is put together, and I see India to have a data center with 10,000 data scientists to look into this data and see that, the whole world we serve it. And that's why this is a health informatics network value chain. And today, even in the allopathy systems, data are all, scanned and digitalized, but there is nobody to analyze it. And this is where that, with the drone applications and also GIS technology, and if this is done, and I think we gain everything. So this is 5 areas I thought that it is very important, and that's why the university has got an university special centers for strengthening national vision. And MSc in health informatics. Take all the biology study students from BSc and +2, have a BSc health informatics with, health related data, and also artificial intelligence and big data analytics and blockchain. It's more than sufficient that, and MSc. And with this one, this has been done. And also that, I was quite impressed by the 5 pillars of the self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. And so, and then you see the Digital India mission. They have come out with the 9 pillars of growth area. And the 9 pillars of growth area, 2 things you see that. You have an e-governance program in 2005, and then 2015, the e-governance program has been split up into 2 categories. One is that e-governance, reforming government through technology. And second one is e-Granti, electronic delivery of services. And now you have to see that whether we have achieved this. And each of these areas is a complex program. Every 4,500 engineering colleges who teach computer science can be the part of these programs. And about 40,000 colleges who teach non-engineering discipline and computer science, which they teach, can be a part of these 2 programs alone. They can do wonders from bottom-up process rather than top-down. So this is a complex program. Second one is that we aim for a $5 trillion economy. But I would like to quote, I was quite impressed by the statement of the former chairman of Hindustan Unilever of 2012, he made it. That rural India is a powerhouse with a potential of 1.8 trillion. It can be added to the then GDP. And if you now multiply with the dollar value, now that today we talk about $5 trillion economy. And because that, if that is possible, only if that, these Bharat India, it gets merged. Technology has to be there. That we have 4,500 management students come out. Everybody goes to the corporate sector. BSc Agriculture Science graduate come. They would like to become an agriculture officer and a bank officer. Nobody wants to go and do farming. And this is where that, the potential, can be realized only if Bharat and India merge together, and India needs rural managers. And even Institute of Rural Management with Dr. Kurian brought it that you need a dairy value chain. He done a fantastic thing to have for a perishable commodity. He brought a value chain. And he all thought that the people also should be there to manage it. He brought Institute of Rural Management. And why this model was not operational for all other perishable agriculture commodity. And then I thought that it is very important that through the agriculture informatics discipline, that 400 agriculture commodities has to have a value chain. And every farmer has to become a part, all stakeholders has to become a part of the value chain. That's why, because of the simple reason that we have 127 agroclimatic zone, 365 days of sunlight, and then 400 agriculture commodities, we can feed the whole world. And if it is part of the global value chain, processed one, not as a raw material. And that one, it is thought that, I'll send it to all of you, the slides, because of the time I will quote some of the things that. And now I also thought that today they talk about Saptarishi priorities. And it's very nice that digital public infrastructure for agriculture also being talked about it. And digital agriculture, infrastructures. And that's why I thought that, Ahmedabad Management Association, I thought that, the recommendation of the Dalwai committee report is more important to strengthen the visionary approach of this budget. Is very important. Agriculture is a foundation, and, it tried to revolutionize this sector by encouraging agri-startup and natural farming, and special attention towards rural economy to create employment opportunities. This is what in organizer.org there was an article about this budget. And it is a land of, villages. Acharya Vinoba Bhave said it's a land of agriculture country, and it's about 6.25 lakhs villages. But at the same time, it employs about more than 50% of the, workforce. Still now, agriculture is the major employment producer, and it contributes about almost 7 to 18%. But at the same time, if you see these Central Council on Energy, Environment and Water Climate Vulnerability Index, 463 districts which are home to 968 million people are extremely vulnerable to climate conditions, events. And this is an eye-opener, and we have 14.5 crore operational holders, out of which 85% are small and marginal holders. And these are all the people from the food security network, not the large-scale farmers. And how informatics development can help them. But if the small farmers leave agriculture, then what is India left with? And this is what we thought that every plot he has it, we have to bring in science and technology enabled development. And we have to see that what productivity and how he can be globalized. That is important, that, and they need, timely, location specific, personalized information for effective control on their production risk, and then market their produce to identified market opportunities. So that was boiling my mind, and with various activities, and I thought that if 14.5 crores operational holders has to be helped, it came to my mind that why don't we have, the government talks about, so many common services centers, 6 lakhs common service center. 2013, when I was the DGNIC, I had a one-day meeting with the Secretary IT, and the Managing Director of Common Services Centers reserved 10% of the common services centers as a farmer common services center. Let them do all the services for the farmers. And also that, set up a committee to have an MOE between NIC and the Common Services Center, so that NIC district centers are working for digitalization. They will be in a position to provide that. Nothing has happened afterwards. The same managing director, he came for another webinar series to talk, and I asked him that now in 2023, January 7th, he delivered a talk. Still it is valid. why can't we have an agriculture community service center? He said, let us have it. But the country needs one agri-tech startup in every Gram Panchayat, 2.25 lakh agri-tech startups. And rather than this startups working in urban areas, this has to go down to the grassroots level, Panchayat level, and that is a big movement which I have initiated through these programs that. And this can bring in this 2.25 lakh agri-tech startup can work with the 14.5 crores operational holders and make it that 400 agriculture commodities as a value chain for in the country. And adopt science-based and information technology because of that problem that that needs to be a strategic policy goals for sustainable productivity. World among the others, adopt science-based and information technology, invest in agricultural research. That is very important. And then we have seen green revolution. But nowadays the green revolution where all higher education institutions should join is that green, G-R-I-N, genomics, robotics, informatics and nanotechnology. And this is very important so that it's not necessary that the domain should restricted only to agriculture university and ICR institutions. All 4,500 engineering, the engineering colleges can be the part of, green, program Green Revolution. And we have these situations in the, ecosystems. Digital India 2015, Make in India 2015, Startup India 2015, Stand Up India 2015, Atmanirbhar program, digital connectivity, doubling farmers' income by 22. But the thing is that three major one, Industry 4.0 has come from Germany. Society 5.0 has come from Japan. And India has to give it to the whole world, Agriculture 4.0. And this is where our strength lies. And with the technology, you can see that 67% are marginal scale farmers. The 18% are small scale farmers. And 10% are semi-medium. And 4.3% are medium scale farmers. And less than 1% is large scale farmers. What you need is total digitalization of input systems, production systems, output systems, and non-farm rural development. You need M.Tech in agricultural informatics, B.Tech in agricultural informatics, PG diploma in agricultural informatics, and diploma in agricultural informatics and MBA in agricultural informatics management, and so on and so forth. And you have that now that network, and now in the rural area for having a good Wi-Fi network. PM warning, Prime Minister's Wi-Fi access network interface is C-dot technologies delivering lot of success in the grassroots level. And this is some of the things which is available, but the thing is that even one of the report I said that BharatNet should be dedicated as a farmers network. It's very important. And digital economy. And why this is very important is that it's creating a website is not going to solve the problem. Agriculture needs information technology, needs operational technology, OT, and also knowledge management. And it is a management concept has to be adopted. And it is comprising digital services and the platform-based economy. So IT, OT and knowledge management, it is a transformation through technology. And this is very important. And and ACTED digital economy report talks about it. It needs to have a foundation layer and also have an innovation ecosystem, and also that economic sector to go smart. Foundation layer means infrastructure, regulation, policies, digital skills, finance and governance. Innovation ecosystem, different technology that fuel the digital economy. And big data analytics, AI, 3D printing can do wonders for our farmers. And with the engineering colleges, whatever the type of machineries which they would like to have it to help the farm woman, to help the other persons, that 3D printing can do wonders. And then social networks, new digital media and cloud computing. So this is some of the things that which one has to adopt it. And if the agriculture sector is digitalized, most of the sustainable development goals can be achieved. And it cannot, and this is cutting the barriers of across all the sectors that. And that's why that it impacts 17 sustainable development goals of the United Nations. One has to see that innovative digital technology continue to bring immense economic opportunities, and at the same time they also continue to create challenges. And and G20 ministerial statement on trade and digital economy ideated an importance of a human-centered future society 5.0, data-free flow with the trust and digital infrastructure. Just let me come to it. And then we take care of even for that, the food security. One nation, one digital ration card. We have trying to develop systems for after the agriculture system, what it produces, and what is input system, which the other input supplies have done it. What is happening on the field, it is not happening. The digitalization. That's why I thought that when as a let us bring in informatics network as a value chain, and you have another area, rainfed agro systems need to unlock its potential, and except the watershed management programs, and we don't have a comprehensive agricultural resources information system in the country. What is to grow? Where to grow, how to grow, why not to grow. All these questions are still unanswered because we don't have a comprehensive information system at the village level. And that's an important thing, that and strategic use of digital technology in farming system life cycle. Even though I also give that paper, but today's topic is I'm going to see that what this committee talks about it, how every higher education institution can get benefit out of it in the form of operationalizing it. There are, article written by Professor Sukhpal Singh of IIM Ahmedabad. He talks about, the committee report 2018. It was submitted 13 components. And it to double farmers' income, including development of a value chain, national agriculture marketing system, marketing intelligence system, sustainable agriculture, effective input delivery utilization, linkage with the non-farm sector, agriculture risk management, research and development extension, structural and governance reform in agriculture. Unfortunately, the report is there in the website. None of the block level agriculture officer, district level agriculture officer know about this report. And they are the Facebook for the farmers. And this is a hard, it's 13 volumes. It's well researched. And that's why the digital technology one, even though it is a part of the volume 12, is there that which brings out experience from 1987 onwards. That is that let it be volume 12B, the chairman has put it separately. It talks about 7 mission mode programs. Now, 7 mission mode programs is that digitalized agriculture. Synergization of all government scheme, whether it is a central government scheme or the state government scheme, let it synergize at the farm level, village level. And it is not happening. And that's why that put it purposefully that digital technology and innovation agriculture, Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India programs for transformational reforms in agriculture sector in 3 categories: smart irrigated farming, smart rainfed farming, and smart tribal farming. Then they asked me that, many people asked me that, why are you putting smart tribal farming? There is a tribal subplan. Tribal subplan is there. 35 departments are coordinating. And it never reached the tribal. And when you put a smart tribal farming, and traditionally tribal farming is sustainable agriculture, and let the boys and girls from the tribal area get trained, and let the tribal agriculture also get globally integrated with the global value chain. Then we don't have a digitalized agromet advisories and agricultural risk management solutions. and then digitalized agriculture resources management system and micro level planning for achieving smart village and smart farming. And then digitalized value chain for 400 agriculture commodities. And then digitalized access to inputs, technology, knowledge, skill, agriculture, finance, credit, marketing, and agribusiness management to farmers. Farmer need not run from pillar to post. Everything should come what is happening in Netherlands. He does not work out. Government knows what plot in what is growing, and for the last 20-25 years what is the potential and what he needs it comes to him. And then digitalized integrated land and water management. Water management is some other department, land management is some other department, and you can't build up a decision support system, build out what is available below the ground and what is available above the ground and what comes from the sky. Britishers, whenever they gone to their various parts of the world, they created 3 scientific departments to do scientific management, equivalent to Survey of India, to know what is available on the ground. They created Geological Survey of India in every Commonwealth country to know what is below the ground. And then, and then they created an IMD to know what is coming from the sky. Now you can say that budget which is available for all these 3 departments nowadays since independence. So this is very important. And then the last one is farm health, human health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health and fish health and environmental health. It is a very important thing as a health informatics network value chain. It is $1 trillion economy, and this is where I thought that one agri-tech startup in each Gram Panchayat up to 2.25 lakh agri-tech startups in India. So this is an important thing. These are 5 categories. Then also we suggested that we have, when Honorable Prime Minister took over, Narendra Modi took over as the Prime Minister, he says every, the Sansad Adas Gram Yojana for establishing smart village, and to facilitate appropriate digital technology in agriculture is also in this direction. And I thought that this is a framework, 7 measurement programs, and the lot of educational institution can also undertake projects to see that. So we suggested about 40 areas. Promote Digital India program in agriculture sector as a farmer charter. That's why e-governance has to be there. And it is not the whims and fancies of the district agriculture officer and the block level agriculture officer. I don't know whether they are developing or blocking the development in the block level. And is a farmer's charter. Second is that this is where I was in 1995. I talked about the digital network for farmer. This was the blueprint, IT blueprint. Informatics network for farmers, DNF, AgMarkNet, AgriSnet, FishNet, Animal Protection and Health Informatics Network, National Animal Disease Reporting System, Plant Protection Informatics Networks and VistarNet, Agricultural Resources Information System, Fertilizer Informatics, Cooperative Network. 2005, my first article was written on networking of all cooperative societies, CoopNet. And each cooperative society should be e-cooperatives to be digitalized. I am very happy that also the Dr. Dalwai committee report recommended that for rural India to get prosperous. And now I am very happy that in this budget they are also computerizing about 63,000 primary agriculture cooperative societies and 22,000 primary fisher cooperative societies, and develop digitalized agriculture services based on digitalization and online internet technology model like Facebook, Alibaba and Uber model. Utilize growing foreign direct investment in agriculture sector for digitalization of agriculture to establish a robust ICT ecosystem for farming sector. Promote a digitalized agriculture, future farming based on green technology. If this would have been taken during the last 4 years, we would have come out with a lot of models, and genomics, robotics, informatics and nanotechnology, and include IoTs, big data analytics, geoinformatics, cloud computing, space technology, mobile computing, language computing and smart farming technology. Create digitalization of agriculture framework as a strong foundation as GSTN. Our Aadhaar framework adopt open source platform for lowering upfront cost. Operationalize, digitalize geospatial agriculture planning and management database integrated agricultural resources information system of NNRMS, National Natural Resource Management System of Department of Space, Natural Resource Database Management System of DST, and Sansat Aadhaar Gram Yojana of Ministry of Rural Development to facilitate undertaking farm level plan, village level plan, block level plan, subsectoral plan, district agriculture plan, agroclimatic zonal plan, agroecological plan so as to achieve highest level of return on investment. And establish digitalized agricultural risk intelligence framework. This will help the 85% of the small and marginal farmers. And then also for assessing risk and risk profiling at farm level, regional level as well as at national level, including appropriate advisories for risk mitigation through installation of more than 20,000 automatic weather stations. For collating real-time weather data from panchayat level, assuming that a weather station can represent in about 5 kilometer radius. And also ICT enabled a process to realize agriculture crop insurance entitlement to the farmer. And establish centers of excellence and set up digitalized farm health information system integrating plant health, soil health, water health and fishery health. And we also recommended establish Center for Excellence, National Center for IT in Agriculture, State Center for IT in Agriculture, District Center for IT in Agriculture, and to take transformational technology intervention for digitalization of farming and Block Center for IT in Agriculture. And that it is a must in another recommendation in rainfed areas and tribal areas. This block level Center for IT is a must. And if this would have been done today, Indian agriculture would have been digitalized like anything. And Center for Excellence on Data Analytics and Modeling. It can come in all like a higher educational institution, need not be only in agricultural university. To achieve big data analytics on agricultural Internet of Things and agriculture things and mission critical big data in agriculture, and also to monitor agriculture production and trade. Domestic and international trade, agri-clinic and agri-business centers to provide knowledge, technology, inputs and marketing as an agri-entrepreneur, link them to Center of Excellence as visualized. Bridge the development gap and human resources development of digital India in agriculture, agricultural informatics professionals like agricultural economists and agricultural statisticians. MTech and BTech level, introduce big data analytics in Directorate of Economic Statistics in Ministry of Agriculture, to build a decision support system facilitating analytical, transformative and discovery path to agriculture policy making, and also extend the land use statistics to under 9-fold classification at the panchayat level and to the village and panchayat level, and undertake capacity building and competency development digital technology and farming community through Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Shakshara Abhiyan. Develop agriculture consultation of satellites to provide data in high resolution in 1 to 2 day frequency in different domains, optical, thermal and microwave. And finalize agriculture drone policy for collecting high resolution imageries for agriculture risk management. Develop a national program for integrated use of space technology in all domains of agriculture. Replicate models project such as Farm Beats of Microsoft, digital drip irrigation model of Israel, ICRISAT framework for digital agriculture for small and marginal farmers, Netherlands model of data analytics, Ramdal project of Jain irrigation systems, New Zealand model of digital tracking, reporting, monitoring feature of our fisheries. Suitable modification can be effected. Establish digitalized access to agricultural credit and financial services, logistic and warehousing. Digitalized agriculture value system for 400 agriculture commodities involving farming community, and established digitalized agro-marine clusters and agro-processing cluster based value chain at block level under PM Kisan Sambada Yojana. Undertake seamless integration of ENAM with AgMarkNet and to enhance transparency and reduce the market information asymmetry of the agriculture market system, and above all to help in containing price volatility and undertaking appropriate policy decision. upgraded 2G and 3G network to 5G network in rural India to operationalize digitalized farming and its associated workflow process with IoT drones. And then introduce private-public partnership initiative to operationalize technologies for agriculture which are being developed in a fragmented manner. And can I get some water? Create an all India coordinated research project. This is very important. That in ICT, in agriculture ICT, in which all engineering colleges, all India coordinated research projects used to be only ICT related institutions and state national agriculture research system. So that create all India coordinated research project in ICT in agriculture, in ICR, in which engineering colleges, 4,500 engineering colleges, NIT, IIT, who teach computer science and information technology, etc., may be also included to undertake focused research projects in the area of IoT, big data analytics, AI, space and geospatial technology, cloud computing in the area of agriculture and food sciences, sensor-based decision support system for soil micronutrient, IoT framework design, specialized sensor development, data acquisition, models, algorithm design, and so on and so forth. Create 3D printing facilities in KVKs to enable agriculture mechanization in a big manner, and establish high performance computing in selected central and state institutes for manipulation of very large data, and particularly related to agriculture genomics, proteomics, geoinformatics, climate change, and in association with the Minister of Electronics and Information Technology, and undertake collaborative ICT for agriculture projects in hub and spoke models, so that everybody can participate, and adopt ICT enabled extension system as discussed in DFI volume 11. That is also I was a group leader. Generate site specific land resources inventory and suitability of using GIS and remote sensing technologies, and then formulate a satellite imagery strategy for agriculture by ISRO in collaboration with Indian Council, ICAR, State Agriculture University, other development stakeholders to enable accurate and dynamic spatial application information utility. Undertake geotagging of agriculture assets, ponds, markets, cold storage, marketing structure, crop area, watershed, warehouse, laboratories, and for the real-time monitoring and effective utilization. Develop and promote standards, and importantly harmonized standards for large-scale use of precision farming in India, and promote startups in PPP models in utilizing the computerized soil health card. 16 crore soil health card is available with the central government. You throw open to all the startups. Let them take this data, let them create a clinic for 5,000 farmers and update it. And establish incubation center for startups to innovate technology application for widespread in about 4,500 engineering colleges. They're all recommendation which is there as a part of the Ashok Dalwai committee report. And 400 and smart farming, smart village, smart agriculture, water smart, nutrient smart, carbon smart, weather smart, and extension smart, and farm health smart, and so on and so forth. Promote startups for creating 400 ICT enabled agriculture commodity supply chain, and then promote startup farm management services, on farm, off farm, and non farm, and then promote NASCOM IoT COIS model framework for IoT ICT technology intervention for its scalability at village level through CSR initiatives, and then operationalize level 1, level 2, level 3 tiered support system. In the place as technology maintenance and adoption for sustainability requires as an effective support system, drastically, and then establish farm knowledge connectivity through Farm Services Center, a subset of common services centers of Digital India program, and create a sound database of land records and data for developing an MIS for agroforestry, and for a transparent and non-controversial operational system, and convert all agricultural information into an information utility and asset. This is where the challenge. Every youngster who has got computing devices can convert agricultural information into an information utility and asset and monetize it. And for the benefit, that's why once again we are repeating that through these centers, everybody can develop apps and then try to monetize it through these centers, so that there will be somebody to look into that. And there we specifically put it that especially in rainfed areas and tribal areas, and specify the role and responsibilities for multiple agencies in implementation of DFI as identified above. And Digital Agriculture Task Force is necessary to oversee the implementation of digital mission mode programs. Digital Agriculture Task Force, this is 2018. And it also talks about various other, agricultural informatics and e-governance. This is what is there in the committee report. And this can really bring in transformation in the agriculture sector. If you go for the existing sector with the state level departments, district level departments, and the block level agricultural officers, if you take to even any block level agriculture, there are about 4 into 6,500 officers working in the agriculture and rural development. Agriculture officer, block level agriculture officer, block level animal husbandry officer, block level fisheries officer, and block level rural development officer. 4 into 6,500, it is equal to about 26,000. They are not the Facebook and LinkedIn of the farmers, and they have to be converted as the digital technology people. And this is very important. And after seeing this recommendation, the Dr. Jebamale Vinancha Arachi, former principal advisor to the Director General, he says, I read this recommendation. They contain therein practical insight and foresight. If translated into action, the growth impulse stemming from intervention will pave the way for the much needed agricultural demand-led economic transformation of the Indian economy, using agribusiness as a dynamic force in fostering prosperity. And that is the strength. And in order to promote digital technology in agriculture, I thought that, let me also have a smart tribal farming, because our honorable president comes from the tribal community. We should go and demonstrate it, that how we recommend technology for tribal area. I, initiated, a smart tribal farming, in cluster of 10 tribal village in the state from Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, working with the local NGOs. And I'll be very happy. And we first made a presentation to the Ministry of Tribal Affairs on 17th August. And I decided that Jahangir Kama AMI Center for Agriculture and Farm Management also provide its supports in the state of Gujarat. And this is very important, because my interest is the Minister of Tribal Affairs wants to have a smart tribal village project. There are about something like 1 lakh tribal villages where population is more than 30%, about 35,000 villages, their population is about more than 50%. All tribal villages should be converted as a smart tribal village. That's why I thought that under this, committee report, let me initiate smart tribal farming, and later, convert all tribal villages as a smart tribal village. Now, smart and collaborative agriculture is the way forward. Future. Collaborative farming, which gives economic benefits, it needs a skill and social one. Future farming is based on genomics, robotics, informatics, and nanotechnology. Adoption of Industry 4.0 in agriculture paves the way for collaborative farming. And we have to democratize farming. We have to bring in dignity to the farmers. And to give dignity to the farmers and democratize, Indian agriculture, adoption and operationalization of this recommendation, digital technology in agriculture, is a must. And the emerging technology influence the growth of Indian agri-business as a farming as a service and digital agriculture. Smart agri-business can have a democratizing effect. And across agriculture sector, this is what UNIDO Report 2021 talks about it. Future of farming, relevance of agricultural informatics research and development ecosystem. I talked about it, that It is very important, and we need 1 lakh graduates ready through agricultural informatics by 2025 for digital transformation of the agricultural system through innovations. That is very important. The possible roadmap that every higher education institution can have a center for agricultural informatics and e-governance research studies. They have computer science department, they have an economic department, they have a statistics department, they have a humanities department, they have social studies, many other departments, and they can adopt and districts, villages where they are located, and center for agricultural informatics, and they can taken up any of the recommendation of the Dalwai committee report on digital technology and agriculture. They can do wonders in their respective area. That's why, that dependency on one KVK, dependency on one Atma center per district needs to go a structural reform in India through the higher educational institution. It's a must, and the Soviet Institute of Engineering Technology is the first university, is a pioneer and instrumental in visualizing agricultural informatics. This is run by the third generation, people, and they thought that since we were part of Uttar Pradesh, let us have in agricultural informatics as a discipline, and this is very important, and every education institution. I have developed a program, MTech in Agricultural Informatics, MBA in Agribusiness Management, MTech in Informatics, and e-governance, and MBA in Industry 4.0, and I can give this brochure to any education institution and establish it. And it's very important, and I even told that why can't even IITs, NITs, Central University can't do that. And if India is an agrarian economy, their first priority is that do research for Indian agriculture sector. Then do rest for the other sectoral things, and this is the brochures which I put it, and it is you can have this one, and you see that Industry 4.0, we have joined from product, smart product, now it is a systems of systems. This is where our youths, rural youths, boys and girls can do wonders, and then I thought that COVID situation came, and Sangaji said it, then I thought that rather than looking at the wall, let me also tell the whole nations that let us, bring in as a former technocrat, a director general NIC, work for the e-governance from 512 districts, and gave a blueprint for agriculture in 95, and built up a lot of applications. I had a 2 webinar series. Every Thursday at 11 o'clock, national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022. 2 hours, and one expert, and a problem, and I completed by last week 105 webinars. And then on Saturday, in association with African Asian Rural Development Organization, international webinar series on digital open source digital technology towards self-reliant India. And 104 webinars I completed. And any technology which is being talked in this one, Ordo, which is a member, 31 member countries, 16 African countries and 15 Asian countries, headquarters in India, it is a mini UN. And they transfer this technology to their member countries. And this is and the talk is available in this, one, and it is creating tremendous interest in startups. And research scholars, agripreneurs, and many of the people who talked in this one signed an MOU. For about 40 MOUs has been signed between the Soviet University and other the people, NGOs throughout India. You can see this is it's available in the YouTube as well as also university website. And I requested Dr. Ms. Tankaji have the talk on 1st January 2022, even though it started from August 2020. And pragmatic ways for Atmanirbhar Bharat. And this is an fintech company. They are providing the complete services to all smallholder farms. They are even giving a automatic weather station to you for a village to provide an agricultural risk management solutions. And Dr. Sudhir Goyal, former additional chief secretary to the government of Maharashtra, he talked about that we need to have an integrated value chain. And there is no point in having a startup for what the farmer has produced it and then try to sell it. You have to have a productivity has to increase. And this is where the startups are failing. And this is, he talked about it. And then when he talked about, there are 22,000 primary fisher cooperative societies where they generate, if there is a 33 lakhs members of fisheries man, he generates a job for 66 lakhs, because the fish which is caught, it has to go to the common man. And they generate that much, value chain. Then the fisheries secretary asked me a business plan for a fisheries cooperative society to help them. And then you see many of the people who talked about it, in these various webinar series. And this is some of the samples. Agriculture resources information system is very important. This is where the geographers have to build up agriculture resources. I was also part of the committee which was set up in 2000, and the report is gathering dust. That's why I thought that, it has been included in the recommendations of this committee. And One Health is a health informatics network value chain. It is $1 trillion economy, sunrise sector. And this Dr. Rajul Patkar, she is an VLSI designer. Today she is brought out a soil tester, soil analysis, and it's called Sustainably Managing Agriculture in Remote Terrain Technology. And it is a very beautiful soil testing. That a VLSI designer now is for IIT, Mumbai. And and this is where the startups can work up. I split up at the extension one. There are 12 blocks, and this can provide startups for various problems at the grassroots level. And it is agroclimatic advisory and good agriculture practices, financial insurance inclusion, agriculture marketing, non-farm activities, agro-services centers, and farm planning, micro-level planning, and agro-warehousing and cold storage, irrigation extension, research extension, agri-hort, floriculture, sericulture, jute, api extension, livestock extension, fisheries extension, and so on and so forth. And engineering a future world for society 5.0 is in the hands of our youngsters, and every higher educational institution should adopt agricultural informatics research and development program. And this is very important, and it's vital. Digital technology in agriculture is vital for ushering in society 5.0 in India and facilitate a sound and reinforcing food security in digital economy. Adopt digital technology, agricultural informatics as an academic and research discipline, agricultural informatics program, MTech, MBA, BTech level, and health informatics program, and let us move towards digitalized agriculture economy as an agriculture 4.0. And operationalization of recommendation of doubling farmers' income 2022 committee report on digital technology is prioritized sooner than later. And with this, I would like to thank all of you. And I would like to, thank you for your patient hearing. And I thought that, each one can talk, it takes, hours of discussion. I am available. And every one of you who would like to participate in the national, people asked me, Professor Moni, what will you do after March 2023 and doubling farmers' income committee period is going to be over? I told him I will still continue to have the national webinar series to see that impact of the decisions and see to that the committee report is operationalized it. And let us continue it, and higher education institution has got a tremendous responsibility to operationalize this recommendation of digital technology in agriculture. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Moni. You are literally a Bhishma Pitamaha of this particular field. What he has tried to compress in 1 hour is probably a subject or a material of couple of days presentation and discussion. It shows the kind of commitment, kind of passion, kind of knowledge base that Professor Moni has got, and I am very, very happy that he has tried to give us a glimpse of his broad vision, and if this is followed, I guess India will be a far more prosperous with I would say a fairly egalitarian distribution of wealth happiness and health all around. So we have got around 10 minutes for questions. I would say request yes the interested participant to give his name and the question, but only one question per person. Thank you. Yes, Professor. Yeah, ladies first. I think say, can you give it to her? She has been raising her hand. Yeah.
I'm an architect and an organic farmer. So I really hope and pray that your vision comes true, because we badly need it. My question is that we have 67% of marginal farmers. How many of their children really want to farm? Because what I see all around me, farmers' children really don't want to go in for farming. And the way our urbanization and urban planners and our policies are, that they are talking of 80% urban India and 20% rural. So who will be left to do the farming? And we also need to combine animal husbandry with farming. Unless we do that, I don't see any future. Sorry, I've put a few things in one.
Thank you very much. When I talked about agriculture, it also takes care of animal husbandry and fisheries. Is also taken care of. But what you said, madam, what you said is correct. I was delivering the talk in an engineering college in Thiruvallur district of Tamil Nadu, RMK College of Engineering. After delivering my talk, the director of Samsung R&D Center from Bangalore, he said it that, Professor Moni, if we would have attended your program 2 years back, we would have put an app along with the Samsung phone, smartphone, and we give it to the dealers, and we forget about it. The next question, after this gentleman, a professor of computer science stood up and asked the same question which you raised it, that even a farmer don't want to put their daughters into farming. I asked her that, Professor, madam, you are a computer science person, you teach artificial intelligence, you teach many decision support system, and how many projects you have done in agriculture sector? You are coming from a premier institute from Tamil Nadu. No. Since you are not doing for anything economy related to Tamil Nadu, and you are producing people for corporate sector, then how do you understand it? And I am very surprised to see that even after you listen to the director R&D of Samsung, and as a professor from a premier institution putting it, but the thing is that we have to, if you have to democratize the agriculture, digital technology only can help. So you please reorient yourself for bringing in technology to building up problems, solutions for the agriculture sector, and the science, the boys and girls from the rural area can pick it up. It will take time. They may not put it, but we have to change the situation. And today, that is the reason only I thought that in the committee like this, I put it that this much, the 2.25 lakh agri-tech startup is needed. During the farmers' strike, Honorable Defense Minister and Honorable Agriculture Minister invited 15 experts for a meeting. I was one among them. I think it has happened in 15th or 16th October 2020. I told Honorable Defense Minister, sir, when there was no farm laws, in 1995, I brought IT blueprint in agriculture sector. We operationalized many things. Now with the farm laws, I can have one agri-tech startup in every gram panchayat. People can work from there, and and this much opportunities are available. And please try to see to that agri-tech startup has to come. So in every forum, I say that until unless this takes place, that that agri-tech startup, there is no point in having in urban areas. So this has to work from there. And second one is that you talked about urbanization. Smart city cannot be successful without smart village. 2002, I was instrumental to get a scheme approved by the then Planning Commission on smart village, grid program and smart island. Normally this is one of the, technocrats don't get into individual basis. And I wanted to go for a pilot project, smart village and smart island and grid. Grid program is that anything on the block level, it has to be networked. Every information has to come regulated and it should be made available. And in this country, whether it is a bureaucratic department or a scientific department or a technocrat department, it is a Ganga has to come from Gangotri. That is the problem. I was not allowed to operationalize one smart village program in 28 states. I have to stop it. And when Honorable Prime Minister announced smart city, and that time I was the part of the university, I thought that let me roll out this program and included in the smart, in the Dr. Dalwai committee report. So irrespective of urbanization takes place, the commodity has to grow from the farm. And whether it is called urban area or urban, rural urban area or rural area, and our Dr. Abdul Kalam talked about Pura, provision of urban facilities in rural area, and this smart village and smart city has to get networked. And if we have these agri-tech startups and also that bringing in this 400 agriculture commodities, 365 days sunshine, and also that 127 agroclimatic zone, what else is not there in the country? And you take Canada, 6 months they closed down and 16 commodities, they are ruling the roost in the whole world with the value chain. That is not part of the government. Private sector does this, global value chain. I told them, let us adopt at least 2 or 3 in India. How Canada is doing it? Why can't we do it? And that is the reason only by vengeance I put 400 agriculture commodity value chain in the report. And it is also part of the committee report. And whether government wants it or not, with the PPP model, this has to be put it. That's why in all the webinars, I have been, really, touching it that this is very important. And I think I answered your questions that.
Thank you very much. I think Professor Srivastava had the question. Yes. Sir. Mic dijiye, haan.
Sir, I think it's a pleasure to listen to you. You have so much experience and so much passion for digitization. But there is one or two questions, When you want to create, all of us want to create integrated value chains, But problem is that the agriculture system, marketing system, is the biggest impediment in making integrated value chain. You have only fragmented value chain. The moment farmer gets disconnected at the APMC, he comes there. And so many laws, and another thing, you digitize them, and where is the input? Digitization is vehicle. Where is the input? I was the team leader for soil health card, which tom-tomming, all over the country. And we were so disappointed when we created the whole thing. One of the modules had, relationship between temperature and weather, the rainfall, and what crops to grow, We went for all the agriculture universities in Gujarat, and none of them could provide the relationship between this and the weather. So ultimately, we subdued that module, and we have to put only given crops in that area.
I'll call you later.
Just like that. Yeah. So like that, the input. Where is the input? And last thing, there is multiplication of agencies, working in the same village, for same thing. For input supply, there is service center, there is FPO, there is a given license, there is some other thing, some other 4, 5, 6, only doing multiplication on the same job. So digitization is one part, and in the ground, when you operationalize it, where is the input? Who thinks about this, Everybody says my Dappli is better than yours. So I want 4 or 5 them Dapplis, doing the same thing.
No, sir, it is, you said it very clearly, but, that it should not become a chicken and egg situation. And we have to either kill a chicken or break an egg. That we have to see that. And when in the commodity value chain, when we build up and, the stakeholders programs, everybody will become a part of the value chain. For example, you talked about fragmented one. We have 7,000 agriculture wholesale mandis. Is there any MBA person with agriculture marketing is employed by these wholesale mandis? We don't have. We have MBA in agribusiness management, which they are going to corporate sector. Fourth,
None of these you're talking about that national agriculture market. In Gujarat, I know none of the APMCs have been able to properly operationalize it.
No, that is another one. That is possible by giving an appropriate capacity building, and that's why the movement has to take place. If you depend only on government, is not going to happen. But the thing is that it is a PPP model has to come, and this has to then we put it that even 4,500 people are coming from as a MBA in agribusiness management, and everybody goes for the corporate sector. I was telling that why we can't have an MBA in agriculture marketing, and let this 7,500 wholesale mandis, let it rather than run by the clerks. They become like an assistants and officers there. Why can't run by MBA in agriculture marketing? And it is possible, and it has to happen during the period of Mr. Modi, and agriculture sector has to be liberated through the digital technology. And our farmers, for one example, we generate $18 billion worth of agriculture waste every year. $18 billion. Banana one, we have done a study with one startup from Gujarat, Mr. Dimbei's boy. 12 states are producing banana, and 285 crores plant. It has to be cut every year. After whether the farmer is getting an remunerative price of the produce, but every banana plant, the pseudo stem can give 50 rupees, and you multiply by 284 crores plant into 50 rupees, it amounts to 13,000 crores per annum, and it's getting wasted. Why there is no innovation on waste for village, for wealth? The farmer need not be a poor man in this country. Only thing is that, we are still depend upon the mercy of our district agriculture officer and some of the educational institutions and also the block level agriculture officers. And we should do wonders. I think once again I say that the boys and girls who get into agriculture accelerator programs or incubation or agri-tech startups, it starts coming in panchayat level, with my conviction, it will happen, and it should happen. Yes,
Very good. Yes. Last two questions. Yes.
Sir, my name is Jaideep, and
Mike, please.
hello, sir. Good evening, sir. My name is Jaideep, and I do own a startup, and we are doing research in home farming. So the question here is, there's no doubt that urban farming and home farming can contribute a lot in the digital revolution which you have talked about. So the real question here is, Is there any facilitation or open source module owned by government or supported by government which we startup can take benefit of at
No,
present?
we have to, we have even recommended that a institution like National Institute for Agriculture Extension Management, has to have some clearing house. There are so many people are doing it, so much money is being sent in the name of, these this type of programs, but there is no, a catalog. And then somebody has to work as a clearing house. That's why we, one of the things that I didn't read it completely, and it is a national, we said that institution like National Institute of Agriculture Extension Management should come forward to make it that these are all the work done by many startups in this area, and with the ratings, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 5 stars, and should be made available. And from this, that's the reason only that until unless education institution focus on agricultural informatics, the minute they set up a center, automatically all those things will come out. Otherwise, individual startup like you will run from pillar to post. And this should be avoided, and, clearing house has to come, and national database has to come, and, we will, it is a must. And you should take benefit out of it. Why should you reinvent the wheel? Thank you.
Thank you. Last question from
Thank you, sir.
Madhukant Bhai.
So thank you, Dangaji, for invitation, first thing. And sir, myself, Dr. Madhukant Patel, a former scientist, ISRO, and a professor in Nirma University now. So first, salute to your contribution to this field for informatics and agri, which is very much needed as per my knowledge goes as a farmer. Sir, we are developing sensors for biotech. We are into IoTs and sensors. My question, like you referred 3D technology for rural and agriculture. Can you throw some more light on that?
What is that?
3D technology you told, that can be used into agro and farming.
3D
Printing, you got.
printing. that.
Sorry, huh?
No, the thing is that today, for all mechanizations, you have to look into some of the companies which are in urban areas. And with the 3D printing technology and the grassroots level, depending upon even when an agriculture season comes, what the farmer go to the local, blacksmith to rectify the machines and so on and so forth. In one of the recommendations, we said it, all the people who are all artisans, who are all helping the farming community in the rural area, their sons and daughters should be trained on 3D printing. Because, they have technologies, they have understanding, and they should be made it as 3D printing. And then, that's why we said that 3D printing, let in every KVK, let them, take the responsibility to bring 3D printing technologies there. And let the people, small farmers, depending upon what type of, the instruments machines has to predict, let them bring it out. Today, idea may not come ideation, but when you have a facility, when you force them to do it with the local problems, this will come out. That's the recommendation that we made it, that KVKs has to, rather than they show that, we will do technology transfer on ICR developed technology. Those days are over. KVKs, let them do what the local, that particular district would like to see that. When Atma program came, Agriculture Technology Management Agency, and that time World Bank program was discussing in 95, 96. Mr. Dr. R. Seth is a World Bank expert. I told him, sir, that time he was given this responsibility from India, NIC. Fine, you have given an acronym Atma. Please see to that in your whole program, Atma, let it be Atma inside. And there is no Atma in Agriculture Technology Management Agency. And still it is there from 95 to today, Atma and KVK, and it's a good concept. But the thing is that we have to see to that, it is working for the farmers. So 3D printing can do wonders. People like you are from, space applications. As a farmer, today I was able to see some of your programs. And you should take that, try to put in 3D printing for some of the applications. I will see to that, you also get some funding, and see to that we will make it that, project in Gujarat, and see to that, let it be an, example.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I would like to get connected to him later if you have got any questions. All that I would like to say is that he has opened a huge vista to all of us. I mean, agriculture, value addition in agriculture, integrated value chain, and obviously all the related activities, use of say ICT, use of technology, use of systems. They've got humongous opportunities. It's for the entrepreneurs and businessmen to look at these opportunities and tap them. Government can come up to a certain level, but we can't expect government to do everything for us. Entrepreneurs, businessmen, they have to take the risk and move forward. That's a message which I have gathered from him. The second important thing that comes out very clearly is that the farmers or the rural people are poorer because the value addition is not taking place there. Value addition is taking place in the towns and cities. So an agricultural produce is say required to be sold at a very low value, but then it is shifted to the urban areas where the entire processing, subsequent to the processing, the branding, distribution, all those the values are captured over there. If you are able to shift the value creation or value addition to the rural areas, I guess it will be, say, a different world that we will be living in. And use of ICT, use of digital technologies, use of, say, the new artificial intelligence, or you talk about, say, the kinds of, the things that we do with a 3D is going to make a complete transformation. Professor Moni talked about 400, say, agricultural commodities. I can just take one or two, and I must tell you that there is humongous opportunity. Banana, for example, banana waste itself is obviously a 20,000, 25,000 crores industry, because banana waste can be converted into fertilizer, high value added fertilizer. It can be converted into a fiber from which you can make the fabrics, and you can obviously take care of the waste altogether. And likewise, say simple things such as moringa. If you make a moringa value chain, believe me or not, it is again a huge industry. Connectivity of agriculture to food, nutrition, health, I don't have to tell you. All that I can say
Just 1 minute.
Yeah.
You must have heard about jackfruit. Wherever you go to the jackfruit produce one, you will be enjoying it. But jackfruit alone can remove hunger from this country.
So that is the potential of each and every commodity. We are not aware.
Just unfortunately,
Yeah.
jackfruit has been considered as a minor fruit, so that it cannot receive any research funding.
Exactly.
And jackfruit, why it is called jackfruit, is a jack of all fruits. Simple. And it has got, if a kid is given 12 bulbs of the jackfruit, it is a 1-day meal. 1-day meal. And nutritional values. And these are all becoming roadside selling. And vegetables fine, but when it is becoming a fruit, it has to be, utilized within 3 days. And after the COVID situation, now the Western world, you wanted to convert, this jackfruit as for to replace beef and pork. India is the number 1 in the world for jackfruit jack production. Exports negligible. Where it is a national fruit in Sri Lanka, national fruit in Bangladesh, and it is jackfruit tree is stronger than teak wood, and it is termite resistant.
So what you are saying is,
and we know, and and it is a 500 years old shelf life tree, and we don't bother about it. And how many things in India, because it's ruled by somebody else, will wait for somebody else to wake up?
see, suddenly we are discovering value in millets. Everybody is talking about millets, and for
and
75 long years we have ignored it.
And Tripura is number 1 state producing jackfruit, and they don't have a market. Assam, second one, third is West Bengal, Orissa, Karnataka, and Karnataka, one farmer, that selling annual income is more than 2 lakhs from one tree. one tree. And today it is a big revolution is taking place in, in Karnataka and Kerala. So I thought that let me have a jackfruit value chain. Because I visited more than 400 districts in my, when I have a soft corner for Northeast. Northeast is full of natural resource. And so put it now, we are trying to have it. Jackfruit is a one which can bring in that, we can achieve SDG goal, I think zero hunger. Why can't we do it? Jackfruit and breadfruit, these two things. Breadfruit, you have to cook it and eat it. That's all, nothing else there.
Well, so what say Professor Moni is saying is true for many other commodities, like so I can talk about bamboo. So each and every one of them is a multi-billion-dollar opportunity. And we have got say Mr. Sudhanshu Jangid here, who is running an institute say on sustainability, and many of them are going to add to the climate change solutions and sustainability. For example, bamboo. So we have got within India humongous and great opportunities. It is for the business people of this particular city and this particular state, which is so very entrepreneurial, to look at them, to seize those opportunities and create business models around them. So I would like to thank Professor Moni to come and share his vast knowledge. He has opened, I would say, a huge vision, and genuinely all the recommendations are visionary. Like any vision, it takes time for it to become operational. And operations and obviously creating a missionary path is all up to us. And that is what I think that we should be doing. I am pleased to tell you that AMA is going to partner Professor Moni and Shobit University to take his mission forward. And we will be having a series of programs. Because one program is not going to be enough. This particular thing is, say, done for creating a context, creating a kind of a background. Now we'll have a series of programs wherein all the new, kinds of things that are happening and which can be done in Gujarat, because it is very important that we don't only think, we don't only prepare reports, we act. And we act and we obviously, say, show it on the ground. Models which will be replicable, which will be, I would say, scalable. As you must be knowing, I'm running a small India-centric Think Plus Act tank under the name of Innovative Thought Forum. So for me, merely now attending meetings and say discussing or say lecturing or say joining seminars is not enough. I am always looking for something which can be put on the ground, shown as say being viable without grant, without donation, without subsidy. And all the models that Professor Moni is talking about are genuinely sustainable on their own. It's up to the businessman to look at the opportunity. Today we had the meeting at iHub, and we found that there are a lot of people who can benefit from the knowledge of Professor Moni. I went to IIMA, CII, they were completely unaware about the kinds of things that can be done in the agricultural sector, using the technology, using obviously the new tools that are available, and having a different vision. Modi ji, as you must be knowing, has been talking about a new vision, and under G20 you are all very well aware about what is being talked about, and Bhopal Declaration, and maybe the climate change programs. So all of them are demanding that we now change the paradigm, we change our lenses, we change our radar, and I'm sure with Professor Moni's wisdom, with say support from AMA, with work by all of us, we will be able to really show a new approach, new way in which we can develop, remain happy, remain healthy, and remain prosperous. सभी को सुख की मतलब जो आप कहेंगे प्राप्ति हो, इस तरह का जो विजन है वो मोनी साहब जैसे लोगों के आने से, हमको मदद करने से संभव होगा. ये मैं जो है कहते हुए मैं आपको पुनः जो सबको धन्यवाद देता हूँ जो आप लोग आए, and you sat over here all through and showed interest. Thank you very much.